All right, how are y'all? I almost said good morning, and it's because hosting a morning radio show has almost ruined my routine. But it's nighttime, and here we are in the cozy RockBox Theater for SongwriterTX here in November. So welcome to the show, y'all. And for those of y'all listening, there's people listening right now who are not sitting in this room because we are live on 99.1 The Buck. So for those of y'all listening out there, from your cars or your homes or your offices or your garage or wherever, welcome to the audio SongwriterTX as well. If you're driving around anywhere close to Fredericksburg, just go ahead and turn that steering wheel, come on down to the RockBox, y'all, because I'm telling you, you do not have the ability to get a ranch water in your car, but you can do it here. I saw 2 people order ranch waters while I was getting my Dr. Pepper up there. So yeah, that's the cool part about being down here, as well as seeing our guest musicians. What we do here at SongwriterTX is bring y'all the best songwriters in the state of Texas, which means they're the world's best songwriters because the best songwriters in the world are from Texas. So that's what we bring to y'all, and so it's worth it to be in here in the theater to see it. And so thank y'all for coming out tonight. So what do we have tonight? I'm going to introduce y'all to our guests, and then we'll get into some of the thank yous and all that stuff. But right here next to me is Kensie Coppin, y'all. Have y'all ever had a chance to hear Kensie perform?
Howdy.
She's on her line. Now, I want to say something to Kensie real fast because despite over a month of effort, I never managed to get her first name spelled correctly on the banner of SongwriterTX. She has a little E at the end of it, so, sorry for getting the name wrong.
Okay.
At the end of the day, we pronounced it right.
Right.
We just got that part, you know.
No,
so.
I'm used to it.
Well, honored to have Kensie on. Kensie came and she performed music in my radio show once over there at Western Edge on the Western Edge weekday show. She writes beautiful tunes. Has a great story, and is just, you're kind of killing it right now here in the Texas music scene.
Thank you.
You know, so you're seeing a superstar right here, I feel like. So that's pretty cool. And then Ben Danaher, superstar status?
No? My career's in the witness protection program.
So here's the story about how Ben got onto this stage. Y'all might remember, some of y'all got to see the February show when we had Josh and Christy Greiter on here. And Josh and Christy, some of the best songwriters, I think, in the whole state of Texas as well. And at the end of their show, they were like, have y'all heard Ben? And we're like, no, tell us about Ben. And so they insisted we had to talk to Ben. And so I reached out and we got him. And man, I'm telling y'all, hearing him play during the sound check, you're in for some magic on Ben's tunes as well. So let's get the show going. I'll do my thank yous later, but I don't need to blab that much. Why don't y'all say a little bit in the first round here about where you're from,
Okay.
Unless you're not originally from Texas, and then hide it. You know? No, I'm just kidding. We've had imports here, and but tell a little bit where you're from and how you got into writing music.
All right. Well, my name is Kensie Coppin. Thank y'all for being here tonight. And thank you for listening if y'all are tuning in on the FM, right?
Got it.
So I was born in Temple, Texas, north of Austin, and I grew up in Bulverde. And I loved growing up out there. It was still kind of a one street, main street downtown. Now it's huge. I can't even believe how big it's gotten. But I also lived in Nashville from 13 to 19 years old, and I started writing songs when I was 13 when I moved to Nashville. After I had been performing from the age of 8, and I was consistently performing in the dance halls across Texas and the Opries, and got to sing on the Grand Ole Opry when I was 11 and 12, and that kind of kick-started us to go to Nashville, and that's when I started writing songs, and that's when I picked up a guitar. So this first song kind of is inspired by growing up in the dance halls and seeing dancers and the women going out and dancing and having a good time, and a lot of times not going home with anybody. So this is my newest single. This is called Heartbreak Queen. I'm gonna get y'all started with a little bit of fun tonight. Y'all ready? All right. Got on my frisky two-step and shiny cowboy boots. Going out tonight just to do what I do. Drop a few, hey, y'all. a few jaws on the floor. Gonna shoot 'em all a smile as they get in line. It's the same little game every Friday night. I need a smooth talking, long neck and cowboy to spin me around. Find me at the bar, my throne and my Stetson crown. If you think I'll ever settle down, I won't, 'cause I'm the heartbreak queen of the honky tonk. Every man thinks he's gonna rope me to change my mind and get me going home with him. They don't know it, but they're just puppets in my masquerade. Yeah, yeah. And I'm the one pulling the strings. You should see the way I make 'em by drinks. I need a smooth talking, long neck and cowboy to spin me around. Find me at the bar, my throne and my Stetson crown. If you think I'll ever settle down, I won't, 'cause I'm the heartbreak queen of the honky tonk. Yeah, I'm the heartbreak queen of the honky tonk. I need a smooth talking, long neck and cowboy to spin me around. Hey, find me at the bar, my throne and my Stetson crown. If you think I'll ever settle down, I won't, 'cause I'm the heartbreak queen of the honky tonk. Yeah, I'm the heartbreak queen of the honky tonk. Yes, I am. Yeehaw.
Yeah. There we go.
Thank you so much.
What a way to get us going there. It's like torture because there's no dance floor, so you know, it's to listen and not dance. All right, Ben. By the way, y'all, I forgot to introduce Boone. You know, he always drifts in here from the streets. I don't know why he hangs around, but we throw some food at him to get him fed, and so there he is, my esteemed co-host. See, I told Cody, I said, just cut Boone tonight, man. Just get him out of it.
Brent is mad at me because I stole his shirt.
No, we love having Boone here on the stage too, and I'm Brent Ryan, by the way, for those who don't know. So, all right, Ben, what you got, man?
My name is Ben Danaher. I grew up in a town northeast of Houston called Huffman, Texas, and yeah, one of them y'all is here. And then I went up to Texas State University in San Marcos and got a degree that I'll never use, and moved to Austin, and then shortly after that was talked into moving to Nashville, and I went up there for 13 years where I was writing songs and met my wife, and we've recently moved back to Austin 1 year ago, so I'm officially back in Texas. And, this is great to get to go do. I was telling Boone backstage that when you're living in Nashville, like you can play in Nashville, but like going outside of there to get to a good market to play music for people, it's a 3, 4, 5 hour drive. And being in Austin, I think the first month of I was back, I had 8 gigs and I stayed in one hotel, and I was like, this is awesome. Yeah. But I'll do this. This is a song I recorded on my record. I made a record with a guy named Sean McConnell, and he produced it and recorded it with me. And this is called Longer Table. It's kind of I don't know how it's still relevant, but it's still relevant. But anyways. A bag of groceries, a tank of gas. You don't know someone's struggle till you ask. There's always a way that you can lend a hand and take the weight off someone's shoulders if you can. In a world where hard times are here to stay, and do you lock the door and just turn away? If we're kind of people, it'll all make sense. Need a longer table, not a higher fence. There's a lot of answers, don't claim to know. We're all figuring this thing out as we go. But showing compassion shouldn't be so hard. And right now might be the perfect time to start. In a world where hard times are here to stay, and do you lock the door and just turn away? If we're kinder people, it'll all make sense. Need a longer table, not a higher fence. If we're kinder people, it'll all make sense. Need a longer table, not a higher. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Ben, I didn't know this about you, but some folks know my daughter's middle name is Rose because of the song "Beautiful Rose" by Sean.
Oh, really?
So yeah, the idea was from that song. So
that's awesome.
Huge Sean McConnell fan. So
man,
cool.
He's incredible. He's like what, freak human.
So anyways, yeah, y'all listen to SongwriterTX, Kensie Coppin and Ben Danaher here, and then I want to say a quick thank you also, Mike Starks Realty is our sponsor, your title sponsor for the show. We've had so many generous gifts in the past couple months since we filed 501c3, which is a new thing in case you haven't heard, which means you can give us a lot of money right now and you get a little bit of benefit out of that. So so just keep that in mind. But Mike Starks has been very generous in support of the show, the man here in the picture. I will brag about Mike. He comes on my radio show every quarter to give the quarterly real estate market report, and he just tracks everything. And so he knows what's going on. He has a good feel for where things are headed. So if you're buying, selling, whatever, please check out MikeStarks.com. And we're just hugely grateful for him and his support of the show. So first questions here. I didn't know a whole heck of a lot about y'all prior to tonight. And sometimes I kind of like it that way, but I've gotten a chance to hear y'all's music. But y'all are different musically. Mm-hmm. Your styles are different. Last month we had a blues guy next to a Western swing gal. And so we like that here on the SongwriterTX stage. And I hope as we go forward that we'll reach out to even more genres, because one of the things that makes Texas music so interesting in our state is it is rich with all this different culture stuff. Yeah. I mean, you really couldn't ignore, for example, the Spanish influence, the Latin influence of music in Texas. You got the cowboy music in Texas, and then you could roll over to San Antonio, and San Antonio, believe it or not, is like one of the heavy metal hub cities of the nation, So
I go mosh pit there all the time.
Yeah, exactly, man. We're gonna get y'all
with this shirt on.
I know, y'all. We're gonna get y'all some heavy metal shows next year, so don't worry, y'all. We'll get it here. But really, for you folks, how has Texas spoken to your to the culture of who y'all like? How's Texas culture spoken to y'all as far as its influence in your songwriting?
Oh man, well, when I was singing with 2 Tons of Steel when I was young, and Texas Jam Band and members of the Ace in the Hole Band, Texas swing, Western swing was a huge influence on me. I was growing up loving country music and more on the traditional side, but the Western swing, Texas swing really got me, and I love George Strait, so it was. That has influenced me quite a bit in my songwriting, but also the top 40 stuff and the popular stuff. I'd say, I guess, top 40 on Texas radio as well. The songwriting in that capacity really influenced me. But I also grew up listening to the Sean McConnells and the folky songwriters, and I've listened to everything, but I would say true to my core, true to my roots, the Texas swing, the Western swing, and the songwriters of Texas have really influenced me.
And you have a lot of that honky-tonk sound, as evidenced by your first song. Was that always, when you envisioned, because you were so young when you sort of started this path, was that the vision you saw, was I'm going to be playing the dance halls and then the stages of, these kind of Texas-y sort of arenas and stuff like that?
Well, that's what I had been doing, so I guess I felt like I would just continue on doing that.
Yeah.
And everything took on a life of its own, especially my songwriting. Especially in Nashville, learning how to co-write, and then coming back to Texas and writing by myself. But I don't know, as I've gotten older, that Western swing influence has come back into my songwriting. When I was young, it was more poetry and more songwritery type of style. And so the two worlds are starting to merge, and that side of my artistry is starting to come out. So I'm excited to get this group of songs out soon, so I can kind of shift into the other side of my art, which is more songwriter, folky, Americana-ish. But yeah, it's amazing how music can transform and morph over the years.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, go for it, Boone.
Yeah. Okay. So my dad was a songwriter, and that was my first kind of like take it, like, you're allowed to do this, like, I know a lot of people that are like, oh, I like to write songs, but I could never do it. And it's like, I never had that roadblock. Like, my dad was playing the festivals in our hometown, and was playing every nursing home, that they would let him set up and play. And then my brothers all played. So my oldest brother was a drummer, and then my brother Brent played guitar for Pat Green from my junior year in high school till, for 20 years. And so my take was like, holy crap, you're allowed to do this, and you're allowed to actually be successful at it. And so when I got to college in San Marcos, thankfully there was a room like Cheatham Street Warehouse where Kent Finley would run you out of there if you were talking. I was like, this is the opposite of a frat party. This is great, And so it was a huge influence. Like, had I not grown up here, I don't know what I would be writing. And then, through the Texas country stuff, I kind of stylistically grew in a different direction. I started listening to Ray Charles and Merle Haggard and like standard people that I looked up, all the people that I was like going to the shows to watch, and who were their main influences, and my dad as well. And so then you get into the Guy Clarks and the Rodney Crowells and the Townes Van Zants, and those were like, that was like the baseline, like the standard of what you seek out to do. And and I didn't really want to leave Texas at the time. I was scared to, but there was another songwriter who lived in Nashville who I was hitting a rut, and I was complaining about it, and he goes, well, who are all your heroes? And I was like, Townes Van Zandt, Guy Clark, Rodney Crowell. And he goes, they all lived in Nashville. And so it seemed like I could like branch away for a minute. And then coming back, there's a freedom in being back here. Like, there was so much of a right and a wrong way to write things in Nashville. It's like you show up at 11 o'clock. It's usually hook driven, which when I say that, I mean it's like it's a bumper sticker, and you like write the song around that, versus like coming back. I remember plugging my guitar in and being like, I could write whatever the F I want to right now. It was like being back in Texas. There weren't any rules anymore. And there's an audience, and people get the deal. You can show up at any town in Texas, and there'll be 100 people just like this that are ready to listen, and it's amazing. Like, I love being back here.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, y'all do another round for us, yeah?
All right. So this next song has been one of my favorites this year, and this is going to be on my debut album. But this is a song I wrote with Clint Ingersoll and Gary Nichols, and I have been through a lot of difficult relationships and have never really landed on my person until this year finally, and thank God.
Get back here.
Yeah, but I felt this way before I fell in love with him, and I always felt this way, and it was super frustrating. So this is called Somebody Someone, and if you feel this way, I promise you're gonna meet your person eventually. I've been a whipping post, I've been a ghost, I've been the one before the one, swear I'm a stepping stone. I keep looking for the one who's looking for me. I don't want much, I just wanna be somebody, somebody, someone. Find the kind of love that doesn't wanna run. I'm tired of being everything for everyone. I just wanna be somebody, somebody, someone someday. Well, I know he's out there, and he's missing me tonight, lonesome as I am, 'cause he ain't been treated right. Just wait till I get a hold of him, or I'm guessing he'll see I just wanna be somebody, somebody, someone. Find the kind of love that doesn't wanna run. I'm tired of being everything for everyone. I just wanna be somebody, somebody, someone someday. It won't be long now, I can feel it in my bones. I'll be where I belong. Somebody, somebody, someone. Find the kind of love I don't wanna run from. I'm tired of being everything for everyone. I just wanna be somebody, somebody, someone someday. Someday. I just wanna be. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's great. I like that.
To that same point, before I met my wife, I'd gone through many variations of relationships, and it was I think they tell you when you're younger that there's this like fairy tale thing that's gonna happen, like the sky is gonna open up and your soulmate will show up, and they say like when you know. Sorry, I forgot we were on the radio.
Cut the radio feed.
They say stuff like when you know, you'll know, and then you know when she cheats on you, and so you go through the hard knocks, and then you meet somebody that is right, but you realize that it takes so much work in like real love and real relationship. Maybe that's like a maturing process for me, but I finally got there with that, and it's a lot of the mundane things that make it work. And I was writing with a guy named Adam Wright, who's a brilliant writer, and we had this kind of laughable moment of like, remember what we thought love was like when you're younger, and how different that picture is now. Also, the song comes out next week. I used to think it was fireworks, brighter than the stars were. Now I know it's like a candle burns, so you could see in the dark. I used to think it was a blue sky, watching cotton candy clouds go by. Now I know it's like a midnight, and waking up in your arms. Love looks a little different now. Glad it ain't the picture I was painting, 'cause the only way to know something inside out, put it back together when you break it. Yeah, the real thing doesn't look perfect. I didn't see it till you showed me how. Love looks a little different now. I used to think it was a fairy tale, full of magic like a wishing well. But those are just stories we tell that hardly ever come true. 'Cause it's more like a post-it stuck on the counter when you wake up, right in front of your coffee cup, saying I love you. Love looks a little different now. Glad it ain't the picture I was painting, 'cause the only way to know something inside out is put it back together when you break it. Yeah, the real thing doesn't look perfect. I didn't see it till you showed me how. Love looks a little different now. Yeah, the real thing doesn't look perfect. I didn't see it till you showed me how. It's less like a garden of Eden, more like a field you plow. Love looks a little different. Love looks a little different. Love looks a little different now.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I love that.
So I'm gonna rat Ben out a little bit. He did something tonight that has never been done on the SongwriterTX stage. But he was in a pickle this evening, being the family man, and his 2-year-old is hanging out backstage. So he brought his little girl, and she's being watched back there. Now she's not being watched. We're hoping everything's cool.
Hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Let's order and takeout. She's probably
There's just a few wires. It's not a lot.
She's growing up this evening.
But honestly, she's absolutely adorable and has been very sweet back there hanging out. She's being watched by Chad Richard's girlfriend's daughter's daughter.
Yeah. Royalty.
Daughter. I had an extra daughter, but yeah. That's the small world of songwriting circles there. But so she's back there living well, but very sweet. It's cool. What a cool deal to be able to take your daughter to.
If there ever was a gig to do that, this is it. And this is like our pilot run on doing that.
Yeah.
I've never done that before.
Yeah.
My wife is a NICU doctor, and she's working overnight tonight, which her job is a little more important than picking out what songs are going to be in the second set. So I was like, okay, I'll take her with me.
Well, the good news is she's already outperformed Boone.
Yeah.
Nice
young.
Boone, I'm going to punt it to you on that note, man, so you
Yeah.
can pick on me back. Dude.
I was happy to hear Kent Finley show up on the SongwriterTX stage again. We've talked about Kent quite a bit, so it's always nice when his name circles back around. He had such an influence on the writing circles at such a early time in its existence, you know, having rooms like that. So it's great to hear. And it's also great that you said the S word, because now it's just open game. It's open season.
Okay.
We're going off, Justin.
You're going to wear it out and celebrate it?
Just kidding. Just kidding, Justin. Hey, you know, you don't know if they're listening unless you test.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I appreciate it.
I'm just picture somebody in the booth like
I actually don't think you're the first.
pushing the button frantically.
Wasn't there someone else who slipped it one time? Was there?
All I remember is that Steve Gary described one of his songs as a panty dropper one night. And
Oh, yeah.
It freaked me out. I was like, can we do that? Say that right here. So
They might frown upon shows like this on the airwaves, but it's all right. It's all right. We're just having a good time. Well, so I guess for our audience, I thought this was a cool time. Y'all have both been in writing rooms in Nashville, right? So can you just explain what that is to us that might not know?
Yeah, it's usually a room without a window. It's
There's no view.
there's no view. Probably by design. They don't want distractions. But a lot of publishing. You'd be surprised when you get to Nashville how modest a lot of the buildings are. You think that you're going to walk into like massive buildings, and some like Sony and Warner Brothers are like that. But most of the publishing houses are in old houses, like a 2 or 3 story house, and the front desk is like in the living room, and then you go back to like a bedroom basically with a couch and a couple pencils or whatever, and usually somebody else has a laptop. It's like Brent and Anthony has a joke. This song was written on 2 laptops in Nashville, Tennessee. It's like, but it can be awkward. You walk in. Sometimes you know them, sometimes you don't. It's usually like 11 o'clock. It's the standard start time, and you start wrapping off ideas that you might be working on or whatever is going on, and then you hopefully get to a very vulnerable place with each other and result in a song. If you don't, then 3 o'clock it's usually over.
So it is timed.
No, but
Oh.
I've never really gone past 3.
Yeah. If something's not happening by then, let's go.
There's nothing more torturous than a song not being on the same page, you know,
Yeah.
here and there. But
Kensie, anything you want to add to it?
I mean, I think he hit it on the head. It is kind of cool though when you're able to connect with someone that you don't know, and you know, it takes a lot though. It takes a lot of repetition of writing with people you don't know to like flex that muscle and finally get to that place of opening up to whoever. It's usually a therapy session. Honestly, you know, it's you walk in, you're like, so how are you today? And
horrible.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly, horrible.
So what kind of song we're gonna
So
write?
what's going on? And then you just go on about the worst things that are going on in your life, and it's seriously like a therapy session. But I enjoy co-writing so much, but I enjoy it better with a view. I think like my mind is able to go so many other places, and I'm able to tap into the ether, I guess, and God. If I can look at, you know, a beautiful river or some trees or a beach or something like that. So writers' retreats are really fun. That's totally different than the boxed in co-writing sessions in
Have
Nashville.
y'all ever gotten a keeper from a room that you weren't expecting?
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
All the time.
Yeah.
Usually it's funny. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Steamroll this, but usually it's a situation where I almost canceled the write because I was like, this is going to be terrible. And you get in there, you write your favorite song. Or the opposite way happens where you're like, you get in a room with a Hall of Famer and you're like, oh my God, it's going to be great. We're going to write the next whatever. And it goes very poorly. And so it's almost like the sick joke that the world's playing on that you don't have any control over it.
It's like the algorithm.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the slot machines.
Yeah, so, and I guess the last question before y'all can go in and play something after this, but do y'all have any songs that, or a song that you thought was going to be like a magical song for you that turned out to like bust, or just on your own, from your own judgment of it, not the world's, but from yours, or vice versa? Has there been one that was unexpectedly something that just carried with you?
No, on the vice versa. I haven't had anything take off. But on the flip side of that, almost every person I know that has ever made a record goes through and picks whatever songs are going to be the single, and it's almost always wrong. Like your gut is like, oh, that's going to be the obvious choice, and for whatever reason, somebody else thinks the other one is, or the world thinks the other one is, or whatever. That's usually how it happens for me, at least. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just a gamble. It's always a gamble. And yeah, I've had many songs that I've put out that I thought, man, people are going to resonate with this, and it just doesn't get the listens, or it doesn't get the streams, or whatever the case may be. But honestly, those songs sometimes mean the most to one person, and it got them through some of the hardest times in their life, and so I think that's more important.
That's a win.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a big win.
Absolutely.
If we were in the business of like picking those right lottery numbers, we would be on the stage right now.
Right. Yeah. It's been fun though. It's been a journey for sure.
Yep.
It's always unexpected. Every turn you take.
And some of the professional songwriters that I've spoken to, actually quite a few of them, including like Bernie Nelson comes to mind, who's been on the stage here, is like, there really is a sense as a professional songwriter of like, you have to sort of write a song and let it go. Like it has a journey that it's meant for. You have no idea what it is, and so you have to be willing to kind of say, to go do your journey, which is an interesting kind of thing to think about. You know?
Yeah, and I've had a hard time, for sure. I think a lot of it is ego, but I've had a hard time, like, recording a song and putting it out there and letting the song have a life of its own. Sometimes it's like, no, I want this to myself, or sometimes subconsciously, feeling like, oh, this is mine, this is my baby, or nobody's gonna like this, so I'm not even gonna try, or I'm saving this for the perfect time.
That's the big one there.
Yeah, that's a big one for me. So
that, and it's so expensive to record things that you want to be so precious with it. You want to line all the dominoes up the right, perfect way. And so you can kind of outthink yourself in the process of getting to actually putting it out. It's like, oh, well, this song cost me this much money. How is this? Like, nothing about the business side of the music business makes any sense. And so if you, like, it's almost like you have to have that blind faith, and like, for sure, it's gone. And whoever needs it will find it, and hopefully I can just get to the next song or whatever.
Yeah. That's great.
I mean, I'm still promoting my single from 6 years ago.
Exactly.
Never
let it die.
It's going to take off.
I'm not giving up, dude. I'm not giving
It's coming. It's coming.
They said persistence is key, so I'm just...
That's admired.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. At least someone sees it, you know.
Love it. Well, let's give them another round, y'all.
yeah, how we feeling? How we feeling, y'all? In the audience.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm gonna play y'all one that I have not played before, and I don't know why I'm doing this to myself right now, but probably because this is one of those songs that came out of one of those rooms in Nashville, with a couple incredible songwriters, Tiffany Goss and Quinn Loggins, and man, this was kind of got lost in the shuffle and the vault, as I'd like to say. So as I was going through songs to pick for this debut record, this came up, and I showed it to Gary, and he was like, "You have to record that. That's a smash." And I wrote it at a time when I felt this way, and I was just not treating myself the way I should be treated, and I was going out too much and just staying out too late and all the things. I don't feel that way anymore, and so sometimes that's the best time to bring it to life. But this is called Cheap Motel. Another night, $49.99, feeling like that blinking bathroom light about to burn out. We're still putting up a fight against headlights as they shine through broken blinds. We both live under neon signs. We're both born for another time. Two old souls, so alike, with paper thin walls and a broke TV, a sign that says no vacancy. There ain't much difference in between this cheap motel and me. Yeah, we're both buzzing like that busted old AC, painting over things we don't want anyone to see. We both got Bibles we don't ever read. Room 22, me and you, one and the same. We both live under neon signs. We're both born for another time. Two old souls, so alike, paper thin walls and a broke TV, a sign that says no vacancy. There ain't much difference in between this cheap motel and me. We're feeling far, so far from 5-star. Can't escape who we are. We both live under neon signs. We're both born for another time. Two old souls, so alike, with paper thin walls and a broke TV, a sign that says no vacancy. There ain't no difference in between this cheap motel and me. This cheap motel and me. Another night, $49.99. Thank y'all so much.
Good song.
Very, very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
49, where you finding that deal?
Well,
Yeah.
so it was $29.99.
Oh, no.
We
Yeah,
wrote it
times
like-
change.
Yeah, we
Inflation.
wrote it like 5
5
years
years changed. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so funny. A couple weeks ago, I was in Fort Worth, and I was on. I use kayak sometimes to find a hotel deal, you know. And it was a Sunday night, and I found like a Holiday Inn for $69, and I was like ecstatic, because it wasn't a Roach Motel, you know. And I get in my the gig ended at 9:30. I get in my bed, and I'm like eating a double cheeseburger from Whataburger and take a melatonin. I'm like going to sleep. It was like dad's time, right? My mom, like I didn't have to like wake up at 6 in the morning to have the baby. And I get an email from the City of Austin Utilities saying that my water usage was through the roof in the last 48 hours. And I'm like looking at the graph, and we water on Wednesdays, and on Sunday it was like 20 times the amount of water. And my brother, who lives 30 minutes away from my house, refused to go down, so I had to go get a coffee and bring it on home that night just to find the water hose spraying all over the backyard. It bummed me out, man. I had a good night in a Holiday Inn. It was like dad's time, and it's ruined. But anyways, I'll do this song. I wrote this song for my grandmother. My grandmother's 95 years old. She lives in Opelousas, Louisiana, and No way. There's
You
no
were,
way.
you were not expecting that.
There's
one.
no
That's crazy.
friggin' way. Are you guys from Opelousas? Lafayette, yeah. So my dad, I'll tell you how my dad met my mom. My dad's from Vermont, and he was touring, playing music, and he drove into Lafayette. My mom was coming out of the mall. She had a job at a shoe store. My dad was in his Toyota Celica, and it wouldn't start. And he said, "Ma'am, do you know how to pop a clutch?" Thank God she did, because I wouldn't be here if not. But then they moved, they hit it off and then moved to Houston. And so anyways, my grandmother still lives there, and she's still playing bumper cars in Walmart parking lots. She's still driving around. She's got onset dementia and OCD, and so her routine is that she makes herself a drink of Canadian whiskey and then cleans her house, and by 4 p.m. she's hammered and her house is spotless. She's a hoot, man. She's during the COVID, there was like these songwriting groups that were popping up, and Josh and Christy were in one, and Drew, and they had a prompt that would come out, and every week they'd give you one word to write a whole song by the next Wednesday, and if you didn't write it, they'd kick you out or whatever. And the week that this song came out, the prompt was called Pistol, and I'm from Texas, and so I could have written about a double album full of gun songs probably, but I thought about my grandmother, and if you looked up pistol in a dictionary, you'd see my 95-year-old grandmother who'd tell you where to go. And so I wrote this for her. They call you a pistol. It just means sometimes you don't give a damn about staying in the lines. But we all know it's you from 100 miles away. The kind you either love or misunderstand enough to hate. In the year you came up in, wasn't too much in between. No one had to wonder, know just what you mean. Yeah, you look 'em in the eye, proud of where you stand, with the head about as hard as a callus on your hands. If you'd have done a damn thing different, if you'd have changed one thing, me and all your kids, we would have never been the same. I'm thankful you don't bend, you damn sure don't break. I'm lucky to be kin to a pistol that shoots straight. When I think about my future, who I'll pass it to, I hope my kids hold their ground half as much as you, 'cause this world don't give a damn who gets in its way. And when their back's against the wall, I hope they see your face. If you'd have done a damn thing different, if you'd have changed one thing, me and all your kids, we would have never been the same. I'm thankful you don't bend, you damn sure don't break. I'm lucky to be kin to a pistol that shoots straight. Yeah, I'm lucky to be kin to a pistol that shoots straight. Thank you.
That's a great perspective on pistol.
Thank you.
Wonderful, man.
Thank you.
I will want to do one more round before we do a break. We'd love to give you all a break so that you can refresh your drinks and all. But let's do one more quick round. I have a couple of questions that popped into my brain as y'all have been talking. I feel like I have a hard time coming up with new questions to ask because I've been hosting the show now for like half of a decade. So, but I thought of a couple of new ones I haven't asked, and one of them's kind of intimate, and one of them's a little bit businessy. So I'm going to go with the intimate one first, and the businessy one in the second half. But interestingly, I like to ask our guests sometimes about how they balance like their home life and their personal life with the road and shows, because it's hard on any relationship.
Just bring the kids.
Yeah, well, I know, and see, I was, for me, when I had a kid, it was a real changer in how I was approaching my own music pursuits and stuff. But one thing that popped into my mind was how saying, I think I'm going to go into music is often not the kind of thing that a parent wants to hear from their kid. Like, are you sure about that? Like, San Marcos, we saved up for that for a long time, or whatever. What was it like? You had a songwriter father, and it sounds like you were doing this very young. What was it like for y'all going into music? Has your family always been kind of on board with that? Or has that been some struggle somewhere along the way?
Well, my family has been supportive the whole time, and I came to them when I was about 8 years old. I already knew that I wanted to be a singer. I didn't know about the songwriting side or any of that. I just wanted to be a singer, and I went to them and cried my eyes out and said, I need help. I want to be a singer, a country music singer, and I need your help. And my parents just took it so seriously, and my dad started taking me to Cheatham Street. We talked about Kent.
Yeah.
He's the first person to put me on stage, and Cheatham Street was my first stage. So we would do that on Monday nights for the jam sessions, and then that just grew. So I've been super blessed to have parents and a family that has supported my dream since I was a little girl, and I know that not everybody gets that. And they kind of have to have even a little more grit to double down on their dream and say, no, I'm doing this. I don't care what you say. And I'm sure that's extremely difficult. So I don't take for granted the support I've gotten all my life, and super, super thankful. And I think that because they supported and lifted me up in that, it made things a little bit easier. I didn't rebel as much. I did rebel, but not as much as I maybe could have. So I'm super thankful.
Yeah, surprisingly, I mentioned earlier about there was like a permission kind of. But when I was in college, it was like I was playing whatever gig I could take, and then whenever I decided that I wanted to like move to Nashville, I remember my mom and my dad struggled so hard with it that financially, it was always like my mom's take on the music industry was never like, oh, you work really hard and you get rewarded with a career. It's my dad always believed that, but like my mom remembers selling furniture to buy groceries, and so there was not a very pleasant like, hey, you should do, you have a degree, like you should get something with health insurance or whatever. And it wasn't until I got to Nashville and I had a song recorded by a buddy of mine who had it placed on the show Nashville that was on ABC. It wasn't even like that much money. I don't even think it was like, for me, my take of the song was less than a month's rent. It was like not that much money, but it was just enough for my mom to stop sending me job applications for teaching positions. So I remember that moment in my career as a massive win. It was like, okay, it legitimized all of like the things that I was doing, and now it's, like, who knows how much money I make at each gig, and it's hard, and things are hard to string together most days, but she at least got off my back.
Yeah. The cool thing is the money that you make tonight will be significantly less than your rent. So.
Yeah. That's a great thing. Yeah.
You got to look at the positive side of life, dude.
It's a tax write-off. This game is a tax write-off.
On the positive side, we've never had a hard time booking the show because we get folks who are beautifully creative, like Ben and Kensie, who just want to share their art. We never want to take advantage of that. Boone and I were talking about, we just we always put the musicians first here on this show, and just love that y'all come and do this because you have a lot of reasons to say no, and yet you come. So we're very, very grateful for that. Let's do one more round and then give y'all a chance to stretch your legs and get boozed up. So,
Sounds good. All right, well, I'm going to end this round on a song that sent me just into a place this year that I did not think I would go. This song went #1 earlier this year. It's called Texas and Me, and I won Single of the Year at the TCMA Awards on Sunday night.
just this past week, y'all. Just this past week. Single of the year.
Yeah, do we have any Texans in the crowd? Trick question. Well, this is about being proud to be from Texas and fighting in a tough bloodline. But I have some really great parents that, as I was saying, have been supportive, but they're also fighters. They broke out of some pretty bad generational trauma, and they lived for their children, and gave them whatever we wanted in our dreams. So I give them a tip of the hat in this song. This is Texas and Me. Where I'm from, make no mistake, runs in my blood from the cradle to the grave. I'm as tough as a rattlesnake. God bless your heart, but I don't play games. Mama's strength and daddy's pride both taught me how to love, both taught me how to fight. Give you a piece of my mind. You can be sure I'll look you dead in the eye. 'Cause that's how I was raised to be. Grit, got a family. What you see is what you get, and what you get is what you see. That's just the Texas in me. Just the Texas in me. I'm like a horse with no reins, running wild like the Guadalupe in my veins. When I hit my knees and pray, I thank the Lord for that Lone Star State. 'Cause that's how and what you get is what you see. That's just the Texas in me. Yeah, that's how I was raised to be. Great kind of family. What you see is what you get. You get is what you see. That's just the Texas in me. 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 Thank y'all so very much.
It's awesome.
Yeah, Kensie, I'm sure they are, but your parents should be extremely proud of you, and I think hard work pays off. It's so great to see it pay off.
Thank you.
I hope it continues on.
I also want to point out that the Texas that's in Kensie tonight is the Texas funk. And and that you're hitting those notes while you got that going on is pretty cool.
Well, I'm shocking myself, to be honest. Yeah, I am. It's the weather change.
Oh, yeah.
Cold.
Yeah, yeah, man, we all got it. So, all right, Ben, you get to wrap up the first half there, dude.
I'm good.
Yeah.
That's a wrap.
It's funny what we were talking about earlier about the permission side of it. Yeah, I always looked at the music business as like two lives, basically. You either were the single guy who got to be on the road all the time, or you were the guy with the family and you were never on the road anymore, or you had to hang it up or whatever. And I'm coming into a season of my life where I'm realizing that I get to have it both ways, and it's a really cool feeling. It looks different. It looks a lot different than I thought it was going to look, but man, it's still very much alive, and I feel very lucky to get to have your cake and eat it too. You know? It's like this is a song that is about just that. Called Have It All. It was always black or white. It was wrong or it was right. I could either scrape and fight, give up on the dream, play it safe or take the risk, double down or cash it in for a little house with a picket fence. Ain't no in between, but that's all getting harder to believe, 'cause I get to have it all. I get to have it both ways, the two-step and the waltz, the backyard and the highway. Yes, I'm one of the lucky ones, always had a dream to chase, then you came along. Now I get to have it all. Your love is proof to me what you want and what you need. They don't have to disagree, have to hold you back. I don't know how it came to be that this old heart could still run free, while I could see you smile at me while the baby laughs. I get to have it all. I get to have it both ways, two-step and the waltz, the backyard and the highway. Yes, I'm one of the lucky ones, always had a dream to chase, then you came along. Now I get to have it all. Right now and always, the pictures in the hall, the shoulder for the heartaches. Yes, I'm one of the lucky ones, always had a dream to chase, then you came along. Now I get to have it all.
Thank y'all. You're listening to SongwriterTX, y'all. Kensie Coppin and Danaher. We're going to take a quick break and be back with y'all here after about the time it takes to get one round of drink. All right? We'll see you here in just a few, okay? By the way, the guitar case is out for tips if y'all would like to bless these musicians. They would love to be blessed, I'm sure. So any cash that goes into that guitar case will go to the musicians 100%. Feel free to give them a little something, all right? We'll see you here in a minute.